Now live on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, for the Borough live season review. We've got this on-air light in the background, so that's a new addition to it. Just playing some of the usual non-copyright music as well. Okay. Welcome all those who've joined the stream. We'll be with you in a few moments. Just going to play a bit of music whilst everyone settles in. So do make yourselves comfortable, and we'll be with you in a moment for the season review. Now it was I put something on Instagram about an hour ago, but I just you know, sound on. I just thought, you know, why not? I mean, because I've got nothing planned at the minute. The next stream I'm doing is Champions League and Europa League when that returns this week. But apart from that, I'm doing nothing, so I thought I might as well get this done while I can. And there's no more power games till next season. Why not? Get a nice. Right, welcome everyone who's joined today's stream. I've got a nice sit on my head. I'll try and sort that out afterwards. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. As you might notice, we're not using the graphics like we normally would do. And before anyone starts, you know, assuming that it's something to do with OBS or something to do with the laptop, it's nothing to do with that. It's because normally when we do season reviews, we don't normally use graphics. Well, obviously last season was a bit different, but I'm going back to, you know, the old days. So, as you can see in the background, we've got a new on-air sign, and that was something it's the on-air sign that I showed you on the birthday video, which I know has had a lot of support for. The only thing with the on-air sign is you're only going to see that when we're live upstairs. When we're live downstairs, we won't be seeing that, and because you probably can't see, but this, if I turn this off, no, I can't turn it off. But if these two, it's connected to nails, so I don't have one for downstairs, and you know I'm not going to have one for downstairs anyway. So you're only going to really see it when we're upstairs. But it's still a good addition. Welcome everyone who's joined today's stream. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's been nice and sunny, and then it's been absolutely peeing down. So a bit of a change in weather. So we'll get to the live chat in a moment, but welcome everyone who's joined. It is the Middlesbrough FC 2019 to 2020 season review. And this is the time of the season where, well, obviously it's finished, but you know, this is the time of the year where we go, right, so let's have a look at how we did in this month, and we go through game to game, and we actually have a bit of a chat about how good or how cack Borough's season was. And I'll tell you now, I'm going to already, spoiler alert, you'll probably know what word I'm going to say if I was having to describe it with one word. Absolutely cack. So there's your answer really for that. But it should be a good stream. I'm looking forward to it. I always enjoy doing these season reviews. Well, I mean, it's better when we actually have a good season. Well, welcome everyone who's in the live chat. Liam Martin, Joe Jumping, hello. Scotty B, hello. Joe Willett, Bothered Gaiman as well. Luke Bishop, thanks for joining, and everyone else. Let's have a look at the live chat. Well, I've already said hello to some people, but let's have a look. Actually, I'll get my teeth in. Let's actually let's have a look, see what actual people have said. Hi, I'm watching the National League. As far as I am concerned, it's 2-0 to Harrogate. Last I heard, it might be 3-0, I don't know, but you never know. Joe Jumpin has put, they played good but rubbish, and big thanks to Neil for keeping us up, and we signed tall defender, what we needed here. Yes, Hall, Grant Hall. Decent defender, but apparently he's injury prone. So it's not particularly helpful, is it? I'll come to Eddie Howe later, because that is a shame. I know. Scotty B said, I'm late, didn't even know you were live. Well, yeah, I am. So the on-air thing is just to see you live, and do you turn off after your live stream? Yeah, it's plugged into actually one of my chargers. So I plug it in. So if you see, look, if you unplug it, it turns off. There you go. So you just have to plug it in now, basically. I will turn it off, obviously, after the stream. So I don't want it on all day. Will you be doing the United season review? After the Europa League, yes. Up the Boa says Joe Joe Willett. There's so many Joes these days. Where's the famous Iron Brew? It is sat here right in front of me. Oh, right. Let's have a look here. Bothered Gaiman's put next season will be better for Bothered, as it can't be any worse than this season, bearing relegation. I know it's been a terrible season, but we'll come to that in a few moments. What's the famous dinner? I'd had some mozzarella sticks and crisscrosses, standard stuff. I will be having bockwursts for tea, mind. Stream's working fine, yeah. I see a new famous sign in the background. United v last game is on Wednesday. Yes, I do know that. I'm aware it's 8 o'clock kickoff. Famous on-air sign, you need one for downstairs. How's famous Daddy Bean? Yeah, fine. How long will the stream go for? I don't know, probably, I'd say less than an hour. I'd say less than an hour. UTFB says Luke Bishop. I can't say what it means, because obviously it's swearing in it. Weather's so hot for me. Yeah, it is boiling here. Yes, me teeth are fine. They're still in me gob. Scotty B's put a shame about Eddie Howe being sacked. Oh yeah, I've already mentioned that. Did you see the Ali Law in black and white TV? No, I didn't. Hope it doesn't give your house a power cut. I don't think we're in any risk of that. When's the next stream? Wednesday, when Manchester United take on Lask. But please do like the stream, and we'll get straight into it. Let me just get on to the internet on the Xbox, and we can get things started. So, my overall thought on the season. It's been a cack season. It's been a really rollercoaster ride. And there's games that have gone well and games that haven't. And we still, believe it or not, I looked at our home record. We've got the 4th worst home record in the league. We hadn't won a home game since Boxing Day, and we still haven't. So it's but it was awful last season, it really was. But at the same time, we had a manager who had no managerial experience, and there's other young managers who I'm not going to compare them to. But there's been young managers in the Premier League and the Championship before. Lee Johnson as well is one of them. But financial problems at the club, because we didn't have, much money in the club whatsoever, really. And, Jonathan Woodgate, when he was manager, was limited to loan signings. And then, of course, it's been one of the worst seasons ever for football. We had obviously Wigan obviously went down because of the points deduction, even though they beat Hull City 8-0. We've got Sheffield Wednesday starting next season on minus 12 points. We had the COVID stuff. We then had Borough facing relegation. Leeds United won the championship, which is the worst thing that could have happened for both fans. If you're a Leeds fan, no disrespect, but that's, both fans, we we could have done without that. Just go on to all teams here. Good news is that we are still in the championship. Where is Borough on here? Been a great season. Norwich went down. News didn't go up. I think I watched the season review last season on your channel. Yes, yeah, we did. Ipswich still rule. Do you reckon Warnock will sign another experienced player? I think so, because he's a manager who knows what he's doing. He knows the type of players he wants to bring in. But the question is, if he is going to bring experienced players in, which players is he going to bring in? Because he's obviously brought in Grant Hall, who is a decent-ish player, but is injury prone apparently. So it could work against us. So you don't know really. But he is a man who knows what he's doing really, and he can bring in good players. I know he's been looking at Kiefer Moore from Wigan Athletic, because I know he's a very good player. We looked at Ivan Toney, but 15 mil? I don't think so. Right, here we go. Right, I'm onto the right page. No, I don't want August, because there's no Borough games in August. Here we go, August 2019. This is where we start everything. What players would you personally go for? I'd happily go for Kiefer Moore, to be honest, because I think Kiefer Moore's a good player. There was also, I know we've been looking at Ben Gibson coming back as well, which is a good sign, because I want Ben Gibson back. He's a fantastic man. He's got, he shows determination for the club, and he also, he has a heart, and he loves the fans. The fans love him. He loves the fans, and he's just that sort of player that you want in your club, that shows determination for your team. Is the sign powered by battery or power bank? USB cable in a plug, so it's a power bank. No, it's not a power bank. It's basically plugged in. So yeah, you could just say that. Power bank, I would say. Great season. Ipswich stayed down in League One. Yeah, I am getting a new Middlesbrough shirt. I'll come on to that in a bit, actually, because there's people who say that they're good and people won't. Well, the first start of the season. So, in August, we started off with an incredible game. We were the first game of the season in Championship. And we started off with a pretty big bang. We started off with a 3-3 draw away to Luton Town. And I'll tell you something. That was a game and a half. Just a shame that none of the other games lived up to the expectation. We got off to a perfect start. Obviously, two managers who were young. No, it doesn't. It just stays red. Jonathan Woodgate's first competitive game in charge. Obviously, pre-season as well, we played against St Etienne and drew. We beat Hartlepool. We lost against a few other teams. It was an okay-ish pre-season. And obviously, we didn't have many people to bring in either, which was a bit of a problem. But we started off with a bang. Ashley Fletcher got us a goal after 7 minutes to give us a perfect start. Obviously, we did the live watch-along for that game. Then Sonny Bradley with a brilliant goal from distance. Certainly one of the goals of the season. Martin Craney then scored from a corner. We then equalised with a Sambalonga from a goalkeeper mistake. Lewis Wing with a rocket from about 20 yards out. Brilliant goal. And then, unfortunately, we had a penalty, which Sambalonga sent straight to Watford. Because literally it was a terrible penalty. It was well over the bar. It was closer to Watford, to be honest. And then Collins, who I said at the start of this game, that was one of the players to watch out for, because he can pop up with important goals. And he did. So, bit of a nightmare, but still, it was a 3-3 draw, and it was a great game for the neutral. But then it went from good to bad. We lost 1-0 at home to Brentford. If I'm not mistaken, I swear we had more chances in that game. And obviously, Brentford are now in the final of the in the EFL Championship playoff final. We actually had more chances than them in the whole game, but it was another one of them games where we had chances, and a lot of the chances we had weren't great chances, but we did have some real clear-cut chances as well, but we just didn't take them at all. And if you don't take your chances, you're not going to win. It's simple as that. Still watch Goldbridge. Now and again, yes. I don't watch him that much because I have to say, I mean, some of his reactions are quite funny, but I don't watch him that much. And obviously, Ollie Watkins got the only goal of the game in that one. That was his 24th goal. And they scored early on in the second half, and they were the better team for the start of the second half. But then once they got the goal, we started to sort of panel on the pressure and, caused a few problems for them. But we just didn't do enough at the end of the day. Crew Alexandra, oh God. Where do I start? What a cack game this was. I mean, we were terrible. I know we had more chances, but we were wasteful. I mean, we were terrible defensively as well. I have no words really for this one. 2-0 down at half time against a team who realistically were terrible, not a particularly good team on paper, and a team we should be annihilating. Second half, we came out and actually started to get back at them. We got a goal in the 75th minute, a really good goal, and then Mark Bowler, who was on loan from, I think he came to Bow from Blackpool, and he doesn't even play for us anymore. I think he went back to them. Scored a late equaliser, and then of course Assombalonga missed a penalty in the shootout, and we weren't particularly good. Did you stock up on Iron Brew in lockdown? Yeah, I think we did, yeah. Fletcher has done well this season to score about 14 goals. Actually, I've read that wrong. Give me a sec. I got the words in the middle. Fletcher has done well to score about 14 goals this season, despite how bad we've been. Just imagine if we had intense, creative players around him. If we had creative players around him, he'd get better service, and we'd probably be seeing more goals. So, I do agree with exactly what he's just said. Knockout Ghost report. I think it's a season to forget, to be honest. I know, yeah, definitely. It's the only video I'm doing about this season, then it's on to next season. Yo, Daz, it's me, Cass. See you tonight. Great video. Yes. No worries. Thanks for joining. Please do like, guys, and subscribe if you're new. So we are, of course, on 1,045 as far as I'm concerned. So we're still on award to 1,050, and then obviously so on. So, well, from a poor performance at home to a poor performance away, and we lost because of a Danny Graham penalty, which of course, I believe this was the first time that we'd ever seen, it's the first time I'd ever seen that Australian referee take charge of our games, Jared Gillett, who people say he's a terrible ref. You're forgetting he was the best referee in the Australian A-League, and obviously it's rather different. The teams are different. The quality of teams is different in the English leagues to the Australian league. But I don't think he's a bad referee. I just think it's taken him a bit of time to actually get used to the championship, and it does do it when if you're taking charge of a game in the championship or something for the first ever time. Then I've got the watch here. I just forgot to put it on. But if you're a referee who's not got any experience in the English leagues, you're going to struggle. And I think people criticise him a bit too much. And fair enough. I mean, he made the wrong decision, to be honest. He did make the wrong decision. Because I don't think Blackburn Rovers' penalty was a pen at all. I think it was the wrong decision. But at the end of the day, we can't be relying on unofficial decisions. We just weren't good enough to win. And that was like 2 or 3 games in a row that we didn't play good enough. No, I'm not doing season reviews for the national teams. Because it hasn't been season. But that was a terrible game. 20th of August, our first home win. Our first home win under Jonathan Woodgate. And it's took him about 5 games. 5 games to get a win. Not just the first home win, but the first win under Jonathan Woodgate. And Britt Assombalonga with the winner. And I'll tell you something, I've criticised Assombalonga this season because he's been terrible. At the same time, I don't think Jonathan Woodgate's tactics really helped. And, you have to remember he got the winner in that game, and that was an important goal. So it lifted us to 14th in the table at that point. But I'm looking at the stats again. We had slightly more of the possession. We had more of the game. We were the better team. Still, we needed to work on our shooting, though, because we were getting shots, but we weren't getting them on target. And that was really the problem for the whole season. From a win to 2 draws. A draw at home to Millwall after we took the lead in the 70th minute, and then Bradshaw in the 76th minute got an equaliser. And Neil Harris got sent off. And I'll tell you now, I absolutely dislike Neil Harris. I think he's a tart. Absolute tart, literally. He just, I don't know what it is with him, but whenever he's on the touchline, man, he annoys the hell out of me. I just don't know why, though, exactly. But, it could have been a win. McInerney got us on to a good start with a goal and then conceded. But again, 2 shots on target from 11. And we dominated them in possession. I'd say we were probably a better team in the game. But you can't be having loads of shots and not getting them on target. You're just not going to get very far. This one was a good game. Bristol City away from home. We were 2-1 up and then we conceded within the last 10 minutes again. And I don't know what it was with us, because we seem to be... There's games where we seem to be good on the attack and then poor defensively. And there's other games where we're decent defensively and not really in attack. So, as I said, it's been topsy-turvy with some of these games. And Assombalonga scored his 100th career goal. And it's a game we really, really deserve to win. We were, by a country mile, the better team. And it was 2 points dropped against a team who caused us problems, but weren't amazing. And this was a game and a half, though. 18 shots to 21. We had 6 on target, they had 5 on target. I mean, both teams were rather wasteful, but at the same time, I think that's a game we could have won and should have won. And to only come away with 1 point at Bristol City is rather disappointing, to be quite honest, considering we won there last season. But at the end of August, it wasn't that bad for the start of the season. We got a point at Luton, a point against Millwall, 3 points against Wigan, and a point at Bristol City, which was 6 points out of, I believe, 6 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 points out of 18, which isn't great, but at the same time, if you look at some of the teams we played against, it's not as bad. It could have been a lot worse, though. Really could have been a lot worse. But 6 points out of 18 is not bad. It's 1/3 of the points, which you'd take, but at the same time, you would rather have got more points. If we'd had 9 points out of 18 or something, I would have accepted that. But for only 6 points, it's not great. Where were we in the table? We were 18th in the table with 6 points with a -1 goal difference. And we were only 2 points off the bottom 3. At least we didn't have a bad start like Stoke City and Huddersfield did, where they only got 1 point. But there's games that we deserved to win and games that we didn't deserve to win. So it was a very weird month. And of course, it was only the first 6-7 games in charge, professionally and competitively, for Jonathan Woodgate. So it wasn't too bad a start, but it could have been a lot better. September, oh, great. 1 win out of 3 in September, and that was against the Royals. That was against the Royals, which I thought we played well, and I thought we deserved to win. Well, I mean, the stats don't show it, because Reading actually had 18 shots, 7 on target, but we had 11 shots, 2 on target. Again, we were rather wasteful, but I think we were... I think we deserved to get at least, if not the win, I thought we deserved to win anyway, because I thought we were a better team. I didn't think Reading were that great defensively. Then again, neither were we. But, you know, I think it was it Marvin Johnson's free kick that went into the penalty area and went straight in? I know, yes, it was. Yes. But you have to give credit to Reading. I mean, they weren't amazing. They could have got a point. But I think the win was fair enough for us, because I thought we deserved it. And that was the second home win. We didn't get many home wins this season. It was terrible for the home record. From 1 win to a defeat at Cardiff. And and well done to Ashley Fletcher, who scored an own goal. And he was the only one who actually scored. If only he scored in the right goal, we would have got the result. Well, that was a very disappointing game. Very, very disappointing. It was evenly matched as well. We could have got a point, but I think the stats said, we had 11 shots, he had 10, but we didn't have a shot on target. So in a way, that really just sums up how lacklustre we were in front of goal. Sheffield Wednesday, oh bloody hell! I talk about a good start. 2-0 down inside the first 10 minutes. Not ideal. Adam Clayton with an own goal. That was the second own goal in a row for Borough. Adam Clayton scored one this time. Ashley Fletcher scored in the last game. And then I realised in the actual vlog I put Larther. I meant Iortha. Sorry about that. But literally, we scored an own goal, and then a minute later, a free kick into the box headed straight in. And I'm like, oh, what is going on? You know, because I couldn't believe it. It was really disappointing to see. It's just not nice to see any of your teams, like, getting annihilated. We've got to go back with Paddy McNair with a brilliant shot. He was never stopping that. Keeper was never stopping it. It was a great strike from inside the box. But that 2-goal lead for Sheffield Wednesday, sort of disappeared and then went back to them. So we started their 2-goal lead with former ball player Adam Reach, who just loves scoring against us. So he got a goal in the 23rd minute. And then Stephen Fletcher in the 34th minute. And it was only half time and we were 4-1 down. And it was very, very awful. Absolutely terrible from us. And I'm not going to lie, I don't have much to say about this game because I don't want to say much about this game because it was a terrible performance. All I'm going to say really is fair play to Sheffield Wednesday because they 100% deserved to win. We deserved nothing from that game. We were terrible from start to finish. So, better team won. That's all I'm going to say. September, 3 points out of 9. Cack. October wasn't particularly much better either. No win whatsoever. We didn't win a single game. We played against Preston North End on the 1st of October. Josh Harrop, if I'm not mistaken, is a former Manchester United man who scored in the 40th minute and then their lead only lasted 2 minutes because Assombalonga popped up with the equaliser. But, we were left rather frustrated because, really, we should have won that. Because I remember us having something like 15 shots or something, and we deserved to. We deserved to get a win. But it was disappointing. And even Jonathan Woodgate was frustrated. But again, it was all about capitalising on mistakes and, getting shots on target and getting them in the net, which we didn't really do, apart from the Assombalonga shot. And then 3 days later, we played against Birmingham City away. Now, this was a very disappointing result. Went 1-0 down in the first half through Falalba Rodrigo. It was an okay-ish goal. And then we equalised late on. And when we equalised, of course, we were live for the game. We equalised. Ayala scored in the 87th minute, and I'm like, get in, but that is so undeserved. Because it was. And people can't say that we deserve to get anything out of that. Because did we hell deserve anything from it? We were terrible all game. And then, of course, Birmingham City obviously got the win they deserved in the last minute, which was heartbreaking for us. But Odin Bailey, the teenager, and I'm not going to lie, he's been okay for them this season. He's a decent young player. And they deserve to win. And that's all I can say. I'm just looking at, let me have a look at stats. We had 5 shots, but we only had 3 on target. Now, actually, we were poor with regards to getting shots off. We didn't get many chances, but when we did, we weren't that bad with them. Because we actually had a percentage, if I can calculate, good job I can calculate percentages. So we had 5 shots, 3 on target in that game, which is a 60% shot conversion, which isn't amazing, but it's better than it was a couple of games ago. But Birmingham definitely deserved to win. They caused the most problems all game. We defensively fell apart, and we let them in all the time. They had 26 shots, so that just shows it. And we were on a bit of a downfall there, and we were like, it's going to be one of those seasons where we're probably going to get a goal and they're just going to go and score kick-off goals like FIFA, really. But it was ridiculous how the way we concede some goals is terrible, and our defence this season's been shocking. And it's got even worse now because Ayala's gone. Fry possibly could be on the move. People are saying that. Makudi's gone. George Friend has now gone. Who else is there? Anyone else? Is there anyone else who's gone, or is that it? I think that's it. So we've got a lot of defensive roles at the minute. And defensively, we're shaky. And it showed that when we played against Huddersfield. So Huddersfield found a way. God. Now, I didn't watch a lot of the game because this was obviously the week of one of my college shows. So I didn't really watch it. But I got in just in time to watch the last 20 minutes of it. And it was a poor game. In total, it was a bit of a poor game. And I think I'll keep it short and sweet. A draw was a fair result. And that's all I'm going to say. But we were left in a pretty bad position because that was a game we should have won. Well, I mean, we were never going to win that, but, we needed a win, basically. And we were 21st at the end of that game. We were close to relegation zone. We were literally a point off. And we didn't even do well against Fulham. Fulham went down to 10 men through because Wodak handballed it. He saved Johnny Howson's shot outside the penalty area. And then ridiculous. And we'd ended up dropping into the bottom three because we couldn't score. We just couldn't score. And both teams weren't great. We were the better team. We had twice the amount of shots that Fulham had, 7-14. But it's ridiculous how you're going to have so many shots, yet we can't score. You know. And for me, that was ridiculous because I was sat there thinking, God, how many more chances do we bloody need to score? We only had one shot on target all game. And that just summed up our form. It just showed you how terrible we were this season. End of October then. Point defeat. Oh, I've missed out the West Brom game. The West Brom game as well. That was the middle of October, and I tell you, there was incredible limbs in the incredible scenes basically in the away end when Halson Carner, the former Reading man, got himself on the score sheet late on in the 82nd minute, and that sent them, I believe, top of the league. Yes, it did. So, and I'm not gonna lie, we played well. It was just disappointing by the fact that, you know, we concede so late and we just can't hold on. We cannot hang on to points. And I thought, well, that's just summed up the season. We're going to head down because of these results. And we finished on a whopping 3 points out of 15. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more than that. You probably know exactly what I'll be saying. Second of November, into November then. And what a dire month this was as well. Wasn't that bad actually. We took on Derby County away, and as you know, I went to the game because I did a vlog, and Tom Lawrence with 2 goals, and it wasn't a particularly great performance, to be honest. Wasn't a great performance, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. It didn't help by Saville getting sent off and the Sombalonga missing an open goal after 2 minutes. Yes. We were terrible. We had 10 shots, but we only had 1 on target, and I think that was the Sombalongas. But Derby got the win they deserved. Dominated possession, dominated the game. Better team. Won, to be honest. But I think they were helped a lot by the referee, because the referee was terrible. And I could have officiated better than that. QPR away was a bit of a decent... was actually not a bad game by the looks of it. I can't even remember what actually happened, but it wasn't a bad game by the... I think. Let's have a look. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. So, Sombalonga opened the scoring for Borough after 23 minutes, then Naki Wells in 25th minute equalised. Then Johnny Halson with another own goal. We were turning into own goal FC, because I think half of our goals have been own goals. Johnny Halson on goal gave them the lead, and then Sombalonga midway through the second half, an important goal. But that was better. That was, you know, they were the better performances that we wanted to see. Hull City at home. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't well enough to go to the game. Unfortunately, but I did watch it. And I'll tell you what, that was probably one of the best home performances I'd seen from us this season, to be honest, especially in the first half. But we scored early on, Tavernier with a good finish. Fletcher with a well-worked goal. It was a really well-worked goal. But this is where the downfall happened. Marvin Johnson with a silly challenge. And there's still people saying to me that they didn't think it was a red card. But I'm sorry, I watched the replay about 4 times, and it was a silly challenge. So it was always going to be a red card. But I think it's the red card that actually doomed us. So in the second half, we just bottled it. You know, it was Eves in the 71st minute getting the goal back, and then Jared Bowen, you know, in the last 15 minutes. But we looked destined to win that game, and we deserved to win. But the fact that we'd scored goals and then we bottled it midway through the second half was very disappointing. And I was gutted, because that was a game that we could have won. I mean, it was certainly a point. It's a point we'll take. But we were brilliant. First half we were brilliant. Second half we let our heads drop a bit, and we just switched off. And you switch off for 1 second against Hull. Not a good idea. But we got back to winning ways against Barnsley, which was a team we badly needed to win. But it was an awful and scrappy game. And it was awful. Because, we had 12 shots, they had 14. So, stats-wise, you'd say it's decent. But if you actually looked at the conditions, the pitch was practically waterlogged. It was actually like playing football in the sea. Really, it was that wet. There was, whenever the ball was moving, there was water coming, there was water flying up off the players' boots and stuff, and it was terrible. And I have to say, I didn't, because normally when I do the vlogs, I stay behind and give my thoughts. I ended up doing the review and stuff at home because I was absolutely drenched, and it was a nice wet night. A very awful game, but Ashley Fletcher somehow went round the keeper. I think 2 players slipped. It was a defensive mistake, actually. And Fletcher just pounced on it and said, "Oh, thank you, I'll go round you. There you go. 1-0. And it was another win. But it seemed like we only won games at home. So we didn't seem to win many games away from home. And here's an example. The Champions Leagues absolutely sent us back home totally. Bit of annihilation, really. 4-0 defeat. Bit of a cushion blow, and it wasn't a nice one either, because we don't like winning. We don't like losing against Leeds. But I can't lie, better team won 100%. They were the better team, and we were terrible. We didn't turn up. But Patrick Bamford scored literally after 3 minutes and celebrated, you plonker. And then Matthias Click. He Click's a nightmare when it comes to playing against. When he comes to playing against Borough, he's a nightmare. And then held the Costa with a brilliant goal, I have to say, right before the 70th minute. And by then I turned off Sky Sports. I'm like, oh, sod it. Because we were terrible. 5 points out of 15. Again, terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I think that defeat against Leeds really summed it up. We also had a high score in that month as well, with Brentford winning 7-0 against Luton. So it wasn't particularly good. Leeds were top of the league, and we were still facing relegation. We were literally 1 point off the bottom 3, and we were in 20th. So not a good half to the season, was it? December. December was actually a better month, because normally when it comes to playing in December, we normally play cack in December. We normally have a good start to the season, and then we bottle it in the second half. Well, and from Christmas onwards. But Christmas was actually not bad. Christmas came early for us. So we beat Charlton 1-0 to home, thanks to, I believe, George Saville's goal after 52 seconds. I'm trying to remember the vlog. Yeah, it was 52 seconds. And it turned out to be the pivotal goal, really. We got the win out of it. It wasn't an amazing game. We just managed to hang on. Forest away. We nicked a draw out with these. probably didn't deserve to. They scored after 63 minutes and then we equalised late on with a McNair penalty. And that was evenly matched. So a draw was a fair result, to be honest. We weren't great. Hello to JCR, thank you for joining. Did you watch the cup game yesterday? Yeah, and I thought Chelsea were robbed. Excuse me. Took you long enough to crack that big boy open, yes. A bad boy open, yeah. No, for fluffy. Balls. Yes, it did take me long enough to open it, can you? I think my air fever's playing up. We always seem to do bad against Derby. The season before we played them at home was winning by a goal and then they turned the floodlights off. Then when they came back on, they won the game. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember you had a power cut or something. Was funny though. It was funny, but I didn't think you deserved to lose that. But you were very good in the Championship, I have to say. Can you see Leeds signing Messi if they win the Premier League this season? I think their fans have something wrong with them. Yes, 100%. I don't think they'll get a chance, especially considering they wanted Cavani and Cavani wants an 18 million salary, which they wouldn't be able to afford, and they wouldn't be able to afford Messi anyway because they'd be looking at 130 mil. So no, there's certainly something wrong with them in that case. Excuse me. Two decent results: a win against Tottenham and a draw at Forest, which was decent. And then our bad record in Wales continued. Jordan Ayew masterclass against a Borough here. Andre Ayew, sorry. I always get the two Ayews mixed up. Andre Ayew with a penalty, and then Borough got an equaliser in the 59th minute from Marcus Tavernier, and then it went completely pear-shaped. Marcus Brown got sent off for a straight red card. I believe it was a straight red. Yeah. Marcus Brown cost Borough the game. 2-footed challenge, and then Paddy McNair. Paddy McNair got a red card, which obviously Borough did appeal, and I don't think it got overturned. And then, of course, 71st minute goal from Andre Ayew, and then Sam Sturridge finished off the job. But it was a poor game, and discipline-wise, terrible. Our disciplinary actions, man. Jesus. But I don't know what went on there. I think we just got a bit frustrated and stuff, and then just players lunging into challenges. It was going to get sent off doing that. Bigger teams for them type of players. Yeah, very true. Anyway, Borough versus Stoke, a 2-1 win, and a big win because it was one that we needed. We were against Stoke, and both teams at the time were near the relegation zone. Stoke were actually in the relegation zone, and we were just outside. So it was a game that we needed to win. Stoke took the lead early in the second half with Sam Clucas. And then Ashley Fletcher equalised 4 minutes later. Their lead didn't last long. And then Lewis Swing with a 25-yard rocket straight into the bottom corner of the net and a superb but brilliant goal. And it got Borough the win. I'm not going to lie. We weren't great. But when we got the chances, we actually took them for once. Huddersfield Town, Jed Spence, and this is, I think, the biggest crowd we had this season, 26,000 something. Jed Spence at the far post, he puts it in, and my God, incredible scenes at the Riverside when that happened, even though it was only early in the game. It was 37 minutes in. What was in the first half? And we leapfrogged Huddersfield. We went above Huddersfield, and 19-year-old Jed Spence with the winner. You know, I think he actually got man of the match as well. But, Huddersfield could so easily have got an equaliser. They missed a sitter from about point-blank range. But apart from that, I thought we deserved a win, and it gave us a big boost going into the game against top of the league West Brom, which was never going to be an easy game. It turned out to be a walk in the park, really, because West Brom did not play that well at all. They only had 5 shots target from 11, which a team who were top of the league were terrible. It was 6 clean sheets in 12 games for Anthony Pairs, which was brilliant for him. And Bowen, I was over the moon when we actually got the goal. Ashley Fletcher with the goal of the season from 40 yards out. And literally 40 yards out, he goes for a pop shot and it goes into the net in the last minute. After Ayala gave Bowen the lead with a corner into the box, which the keeper missed, and Ayala ended up heading it in. But Slaven Bilic wasn't particularly pleased, and we were over the moon. That was the biggest win this season. It was superb. I think it was the first away win for us this season as well. 10 shots on target from 15, which is a very, very good stats. Very good stats. Considering against a team who were top of the league, 66% shot accuracy. Brilliant. Very, very good. So December was actually our best month, really. Won a win against Charlton, so there's 3 points, 4 points, 7 points, 10 points. We only lost 1 game out of 6. So that was brilliant. 13 points from 18. Which is great. 13 points out of 18. And it was a great way to end the year. And then in January, we played Preston away. And January was also quite a decent month, of course, with the FA Cup as well. Beat Preston 2-0, very comfortable. An own goal, I think, was what the last goal was. Or was it actually... Yeah, Gested with an overhead kick, and then Fletcher latched onto a mistake. Better team won. I was very chuffed with that. Big, just made me Sunday dessert. That's nice. But then drew against Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, we should have won. We should have won. Because Tottenham, I mean, when Jose Mourinho plays against Borough, he's normally good. They had slightly more chances, but they had more chances, but they were like, they weren't, it wasn't a usual Tottenham performance that we'd seen before. Tottenham defensively was shaky. And obviously when Ashley Fletcher got the goal, oh my word. The incredible scenes in the stadium when he scored that goal, it was unbelievable. And it's a game I thought we could have won. But then again, Jose Mourinho is Jose Mourinho. Always finds a way of hitting back. And of course, they finished us off in the way play at the toilet seat, which was unfortunate because I thought we should have got something from that, but it was Thomas Mahegas who cost us. We could have sent that to it. We could have sent that to extra time, maybe penalties. But Lucas Nemecha Lucas Nemecha didn't have a bad game. It was he created himself a decent chance, but then his finishing's poor. Just couldn't finish it. Welcome if you just joined stream. 110 likes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And keep them coming. Get your comments in the live chat. What were your thoughts on this season as a whole? We're going to end streams. Well, we can't end stream soon yet because we're not even into the climax yet. 2-2 draw against Derby. What a game that was. And really annoyed because we took the lead, then conceded, and then took the lead again, and then conceded again. And both of Derby's goals were well taken. And Boa's goal from wing was brilliant. And then penalty from McNair smashed straight in. So, four good finishes. It's just disappointing that we dropped 2 points in the last minute because we really should have won that. We were rather lucky. Fulham away. That was cack. That's all I'm going to say. We conceded early on, and we couldn't reply. We're just wasteful. Oh God, it's the hay fever. That's what it is. I'll go and take my hay fever tablets in a minute. Dave Openshaw, hello. Hi, Daz. Really chuffed that you lads stayed up. I think you need to move forward in the league now next year. Yes, definitely. And I think under Neil Warnock, we'll see a bit of a difference in the team. Is that? Ah. The has sort of gone off. I don't know. Oh well. Maybe the light's just not amazing in that bit. But a 1-1 draw against Birmingham. Oh God, that was... Birmingham game, that was... and that was a bit of a rough game. But Birmingham, as usual... Birmingham, as usual, very dirty. And always diving. But they got the second goal, which was disallowed. And all hell broke loose. But a point was a fair result. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say that much about the Birmingham game. All we can say is there was massive fights going on. So, Preston, win there. So, 3, 4, 5 points out of 12. So, we had 4 league games, and the other 2 games were actually cup games against Spurs, which was decent. How many signings will you need, says Nathan Morrison? I would say maybe another 4 or 5, maybe slightly more, but it depends on finance and stuff, because we might have to try and bring in some players on loan. You know. When you look back on a season, it's always if, buts, maybes. It's small margins between mid-table and playoffs, just a bit of luck needed here and there. Yeah, that's very true. Very, very true. Into February. Now, this wasn't a particularly good month. We got a 1-1 draw against Blackburn Rovers, which we deserved. We ended up losing against Brentford. It was late on as well, and it was a good game. It was a good game, and I thought we deserved to get something out of that. So I thought we were rather robbed late on. Ollie Watkins, though, again, they did the double over us. And then, Wigan away. 2 big points dropped because we should have won. Really should have won. We were the better team. We went 1-0 down. Then we got to 2-1. They were down to 10 men and they equalised because of an own goal. And I'll tell you what, it was one of the best own goals this season from Makudi. It was superb. Shame he headed the ball in the wrong net. But that didn't help. So that was 2 big points dropped. And then the worst home performance of the season against newly promoted Luton. It was cack. And there was only 1 shot on target in the entire game, and that was Luton's goal from Tunnicliffe. I mean, it was a decent finish, but it was an awful game to watch. Even, I think the neutrals would say it was an awful game. But it was terrible. We should have played much, much better than that. It was cack. Dave Openshaw's put, I think, loan signings are key in the Championship, especially next year. No one has any money apart from the teams dropping out of the Prem. After Mound, says TWH. Yeah, I agree with what Dave Openshaw's put, yes. I think, this season, we'll probably be doing... there's something that I might do is probably I'll probably do Championship table predictions. Then again, I probably won't be able to do it because 2 seconds. There we go, sorted. Right. As I was saying, it's difficult to predict this season because I think anyone could go up I don't think any of the Premier League teams will go up. I think if whoever loses between Fulham and Brentford in the playoff final will definitely go up this season. So it's too tough to call this season. It'd be very tough. I'd need big help with it. I'd certainly need someone to help me because it's too difficult to predict. Barnsley won Borough 0. I'm not going to say anything about that apart from it was a terrible game and we should have got at least a point. Leeds at home, we deserved a point, but Leeds did the double overs as bloody usual. And it was Matty's click right on half time. Worst possible time to concede. Oh, and I had a bit of a... We had a bit of a row with... you didn't see this on camera, but we had a bit of a row when they scored. Because... It's obviously we sat literally all behind the Leeds people. And one of them was literally doing rude gestures and stuff to our fans and was being a tit. So, of course, I was close to sticking one on him, and I really should have done, but I didn't want to because I would have got banned. But all sorts went on, and, like, a lot of the people in that stand were just, were having a massive pop at him because he was acting like a hooligan. And I'm thinking, if you're going to act like that, you should be sat with the other tits in the other stand. It's ridiculous. Typical Leeds fans. Well, yeah, but, I mean, it's stupid. Well, I wouldn't have got charged by the police, but, I mean, he would have deserved it. And I got kicked out, so I wasn't going to do it anyway, because I'm not that thick, But he acted like a hooligan, and he was an absolute idiot, and he should have been gone anyway. And he was still sat there for the second half, and I'm thinking, they dare score again, and he's going to go. Literally, I can guarantee. Now, we beat Preston off end, and we hadn't really won since then. And this is obviously, started a bad home run. Because we'd won at home, and then we hadn't won at home since Boxing Day, still at this point. And we still finished off winless at home. But the Leeds game, we should have got at least a point because Leeds weren't even that great. We had 2 games in March, of course, with the pandemic. And those 2 games in March were 2-2 draw at home to Forest, which we deserved. I'd say we deserved all 3 points from that. And we were a bit wobbed late on. And Lewis Grabban was grabbing a point. Hey! Sorry, that was a poor joke. But we played well. I mean, we conceded midway through the first half. It was a very good goal, really good goal. And then Gested with a lucky equaliser, and then Lewis Wing with a goal that just about the referee gave it. I wasn't sure if it had actually gone in or not. But, Lewis Grabban's goal was awarded, despite, we were all claiming it was a foul on Ainsley Pears, and looking at the replay, it was actually not a foul. But, you just have to look back at it and just say that, we just weren't clinical enough. But it was a good game, and I think a draw, in a way, it was a fair result, but I thought we deserved to win. So, if we'd lost that game, that would have been a bit of an injustice. Charlton away, big win. Dejan Stojanovic's first start for Middlesbrough FC, and Paddy McNair with the winner early in the first half. Better team won, Charlton were cack. Literally. Let's have a look at the live chat here. Scotty B's talking to Jude there. See you next season. Yep. You're looking forward to the championship. You would if you hit him on the head. Oh, well, yes. Well, duh. Definitely excited to see who our manager will be and who our squad will look like. You've been linked with this guy from Udinese, Calcio. Do you think he will go straight back up? I don't think he will. Well, I mean, we won't go, but I don't think Watford will. Norwich certainly won't. It's hard to know at this point. I've no idea who will stay and who will come in. Well, I mean, that is true. That is very true. I'm hoping for mid-table finish, nothing low or won't be happy. Well, yeah, of course, yeah. Could see you getting playoffs. So, ended March quite well. That was until the pandemic. May. So you didn't start until June. You think Norwich will go up? Will they spend a £1 or two? I expect you will lose a few. Yep. We started in June with a defeat, a 3-0. It was a cack game. One of the worst home games from us this season, certainly was. About on par with Luton. 3-0 thumping against Swansea, and they deserved to win. They deserved it. We were terrible in front of goal. And that was the final game. It was the final game that we saw Jonathan Woodgate in charge. And as soon as he left, I like Jonathan Woodgate, but I'm glad he was sacked because he was cack. Of course, he had, there was no financial, he didn't have that much to play with regards to money and stuff. But he was awful. We brought in Neil Warnock, who I didn't expect, and I wanted him in the first bloody place. We got a win at Stoke. Comfortable win. Better team won. And then into July, final games of the season, we lost against Hull City in the last minute, which we should not have lost. Because I thought we'd a better team. Hull were cack, and sorry, they were terrible. They were just very, very lucky. But at the end of the day, we did not take our chances. And it was an awful defeat. We should never have lost. Then we lost to QPR at home, and our home games just kept being bad as usual. Jordan Hugo with a great goal against his former club. But again, a game that we could have got a point. We could have got a point out of that one, but we just didn't because we weren't clinical. But we certainly saw a different style of play under Warnock. Much better than we did against teams with Woodgate. We beat Millwall 2-0 away. Very comfortable win and deserved it. And then we got beat 3-1 to Bristol City. Now that was cack. It was crap. We were 3-0 down and the Sunderland with a good free kick, and it was obviously, we paid tribute to Jack Charlton, obviously. But it was disappointing. It was really disappointing to see us, get annihilated. And Neil Warnock was not happy whatsoever. And we were just outside of the bottom six, needing points. And it's a game we could have got a draw from, but we weren't great. Same again. And in the final game of the season, that's Cardiff. We beat Reading away 2-1. Big win that. Patrick Roberts late on with a sublime finish. And even a guy called David, which I know a lot of people will know, apparently still thinks that the Dazza v David derby still happens, which it doesn't. And if it was the case, that would have been about 6 or 7-0. So he's completely wrong. So you take no notice of him if he says that, because apparently he still thinks the Daz v David rivalry still happens. It doesn't. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say. Cardiff City 3-1. I'm not going to say anything about that, apart from we lost and we deserved to, because we were terrible. And then the final game of the season, we left it late, and we only needed a point to 100% secure it. And it's a good job we got a win, because teams around us actually won. Now, obviously, Wigan needed to win in order for them to survive because of the points deduction. Now, they didn't survive because they didn't win. And the Owls have now got a -12 points deduction, which they're going to start on -12 next season. So I think they're certainly going to go down. But we just about hang on. We just about hold on and managed to get the win. Even though we weren't amazing, but at the end of the day, we took our chances and they didn't. So the final championship table. Stood with Leeds being the champions and West Brom going up on the last day. Both finished 17th on 53 points with a win-lose form. And we finished literally 1753 points. We finished 5 points ahead of Charlton Athletic, who finished in 22nd. So, my overall thoughts, a really cack season, but since Neil Warnock came in, we've seen better performances, away from home at least. But we don't seem to play well at home. And I know someone asked me, do I think the Borough are scared to play at home? And there shouldn't be. And I think next season, our home form certainly has to improve, because it was disgusting how poor our home form was. Hopefully we can bring in some decent players that we can work with, and obviously we brought in Grant Hall, we could bring in some other people. But we've got a manager who knows what he's doing. And I think next season, it's difficult to predict, but I think if we can finish in the top 10, at least, if we finish in the top 10, then I would happily take that. Let's have a look at your comment section here. Probably not Dave, like I said. I'd be happy with a mid-table finish. Who do you expect to get bought? I assume that's to Scotty, or is that to us? Shocking, lost to Hull. It was so bad. I know, we should have won, actually. Hull didn't deserve. Someone's just sent me a message. Christoph Bubba Coffeeness has just put love in the stream. Thanks, yep. If he was playing up. Where we do? If Norwich sell a few and make 60 plus and the 100 million parachute payment, they really should spend some money. Well, yes, of course it will. Pukey, Todd, Owens, Lewis, Emmy, great striker, David. Overall, a bad season for Bowen. Yep, very true. You're going to have a little talk about next season. Probably not, because it's going to be difficult next season. But I think we can certainly play with a bit more, I'd say, freedom. I'd say we can certainly play a lot better. Pukey's linked with Burnley and Turkish team. So, right. Neil Warnock has quite a different philosophy, and he knows what he's doing. He's a manager who takes no prisoners. In basic terms, he takes no crap. And if you're not playing well, he'll give you a good kick in the backside, literally. And that's what a lot of the ball players have needed this season. Now, player of these are the things where it comes to, best you play this season, and there's only 3 awards for us. We got the player of the season, young player of the season, and we've got goal of the season, which is the other one. So we've got three little awards that I'm going to give. But we'll quickly read your comment. We'll quickly read the rest of them. I think Bo will make the playoffs next year. I don't think we will. I think we'll make at least top 10. Warnock knows the championship inside out. It's true, we've got a manager who knows the championship and is very experienced, but I think next season, at least 10th. And maybe not playoffs, I don't know, but if we get to the playoffs, good. I think Middlesbrough will play better next season than Neil. Yeah, so do I. In your opinion, what is the best shirt released so far? Which one? For Boas, the away kit's the best one for me, and I'm getting the away kit. The home kit, not a big fan of. And the goalkeeper kits, the purple one looks like my grandma's curtains, and the away one looks like something a jockey wears. Terrible. I haven't seen any of the Manchester United one. Mine one's alright. Yeah, I don't normally buy the away shirt, but the home shirt's not particularly great. I'd rather have the away strip. I don't think God himself could predict a championship. Wow. I don't know who would buy Pookie. He's a good championship striker. I'd keep him. That pretty girl you have in midfield might be worth a few quid. Right. It's been a good stream, though. Hummels always do decent away kits. Ahem. I think they did Air United's kit, and it's terrible. There's one kit that also looks like a deck chair, which I looked at yesterday, and there was some terrible ones. Not got a clue what our shirt will look like. Still no news. Barcelona's kit's quite nice. Barcelona do have some nice kits, I have to say. Bayern's home strips, a bit plain, but decent. But yes, we're on to the 3 awards and the player of the season. Now, this is one of the toughest decisions ever, because there's a few nominees. There's Paddy McNair. There's Ashley Fletcher, who's got the goals. There's Johnny Howson, who's been solid defensively. There's also, I can't remember, I've forgotten his name now. Savile, who I think's not been too bad either. And I'm going to tell you now that the winner of the Dazzers Football Stand Middlesbrough Player of the Season award is Johnny Howson. And I'll tell you why. Johnny Howson, for me, has been an incredible player this season. McNair's also been good, but he is second in that list. Johnny Howson normally is played as a centre mid, and under Neil Warnock, he is played as a centre mid. But under John van Woodgate, we saw him as a centre back. And when I first saw him as a centre back, I was thinking, is it going to work? I didn't think it was going to work at first. And then we've seen him play, and he's incredible. He's solid defensively. He's solid as a rock. And he knows how to defend. And he's a player who's saved ball quite a lot this season. So, yeah, my player of the season is certainly Johnny Howson. I think he's been the best player all season. Dave Openshaw's put Boo, gotta be one of the ex-United lads, McNair or Fletcher. McNair's been good, so's Fletcher. But I think Johnny Howson's been one of the best players this season for us. But McNair is up there with one of the best as well. Jed Spence. Now, the thing with Jed Spence is Jed Spence only came in, he only started playing in December. So he's only played for half the season. So that's why I didn't pick Jed Spence, because I thought it would be a rather controversial decision, since he only started playing midway through December. So he hasn't played for the full season. And actually, the young player of the season I was going to go for anyway was actually Hayden Coulson. Even though Hayden Coulson doesn't get started, which I think is the wrong decision, when he plays, he makes an impact. Jed Spence is the same, but Jed Spence has only played half the season, and Coulson's played the full season. There's also Enzi Pears, who's done well in goal. Who else is there? There's not that. We don't have a lot of youth ones. We've got Nathan Wood. He doesn't really play, though, does he? I think Hayden Coulson's been brilliant this season. And the goal of the season. Now, this one, is not really a hard one. We've got 3 nominees. And Lewis Wing's had a good season as well, yes. Here we go. 3 nominations for goal of the season. Lewis Wing against Stoke. Fletcher against West Brom. And the other goal is Tavernier's against Stoke, which was away. And the actual one I'm going to go for, down the middle, is Ashley Fletcher's 45-yard rocket against West Bromwich Albion, because that was an important goal which secured our 3 points at West Brom, and it was one of the most amazing goals that I'd ever seen this season. So that's the goal of the season without a shadow of a doubt. And I don't think many people will disagree with that. And if you do disagree, fair enough. That's your opinion. And obviously, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But that's the Dazzers Football Stand, player and obviously young player, and of course goal of the season awards. But yeah, Neil Warnock is a manager who knows what he's doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we do next season. But that is it for today's stream. We've been live for 1 hour and 20 minutes. It says 80 minutes, but I've managed to work it out very quickly at 1 hour and 20 because I'm good at maths. 53 points this season, which is good enough to keep us up, but it's not amazing. And a team like Borough should be reaching about 70 points at least. Next season, we push for at least a playoffs, if not promotion. And it's going to be a tough season. But we'll read the comments quickly and then we'll end the stream. When you're getting a haircut, no idea. Asked if Fletcher leaving Knights, the only reason Rashford played his first match. Ah, yes, yeah. Fletcher was well in front of Rashford. Yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. I hope everyone's enjoyed the stream. It's been a good stream. We will be doing the last Glynsbury Manchester United game. That is happening on Wednesday, and then on Saturday it is the second leg of the UEFA Champions League as Bayern Munich take on Chelsea, and then obviously we'll find out which date. We'll find out when when the quarterfinals are. And I'll give you all the information about the Champions League Europa League quarterfinals because it's going to be a bit mixed, really, because normally they do it over 2 legs, and this time the quarterfinals and semi-finals are all 1-leg match. And they're not all played in their stadiums, they're played in different locations. So the Europa League is in Germany, so that's in Duisburg, Cologne, Gelsenkirchen, aka Schalke, and Dusseldorf. And for the Champions League, it's in Lisbon. Well, practically Lisbon. I think all the games are played at the Sporting Lisbon one and Benfica. So it's all 1-leg matches in 2 different countries. So it's going to be confusing. But I hope everyone's enjoyed the stream. Thank you all, everyone who has joined. And hope you all have a fantastic day. We're going to play a bit of music to finish the stream off. But everyone take care. What is Ayala like apparently going to Swans? Ayala is not going to Swansea apparently, as far as we know. Ayala's a good defender, but he was a liability at times, because there was times where he played and he was liable. But if you do sign him, then fair enough. He's a good player to have. Bit annoying that he's left, but good luck to him. If you get him, then you've got a good signing. But do be aware that he is a liability at times. That's all I'm going to say. But that's all I'm going to say, really. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. And we will catch you all later on. I'm trying to find the music I'm looking for. Are you doing some United watch songs? Yeah, we're doing the game between the last one on Wednesday night. Next stream, of course, as I've just said, will be Wednesday night as United take on Lask. Well, thank you all for joining, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. That's not what I wanted. But, yeah. We'll play some music just to end the stream. And, yeah, see you in a bit. Yeah, it should be a thriller. Yeah, it'd be probably something like 5-0. Ooh, dear. Riding solo in the dark, electric embers really night. I'm just another lonely nomad on the road. I'm a ghost in the city, I'm a ghost in the city of night. Yeah. I'm just another night in solo. Oh. Just another lonely nomad on the road. I'm a ghost in the city, I'm the ghost in the city of night, yes.
Silicone circle smile, net running navigation, Legion fire.
Electric embers will ignite. I'm just another lonely nomad on the road. I'm a ghost in the city, I'm the ghost in the city of night. I'm the ghost in the city of night. Oh, man. Running down on the edge. I'm the ghost in the city of night. Yeah.